Hi everyone, I'm going to go over the first example for while loops. So let's pretend that we're going to initialize a variable I to 0. And what we want to do is set up a while loop while, let's say, I is less than 10. We're going to keep on looping through, and we'll say we want to increment I by 1 each time as it loops through, and let's just console.log I. And underneath the while loop, once the number I gets over 10 or equal to 10, then it will exit out of the while loop and it will console.log the word finished or done. And what we have here is we have initialized variable here we have initialized the variable I to the number 0. And then what we're doing here is we're setting up a while loop, and in this while loop, it's going to keep on iterating over and over and over again while this is true. So as long as I is less than 10, then keep on going inside the while loop. But what we're doing here is we're incrementing I by 1 each time. And what's going to happen is as it first goes through, it's 0. So is 0 less than 10? Yes. It'll increment it by 1, so it'll console log out 1. Then it'll go down to the bottom here, and it'll say, oh, it's the end of the while loop. Okay, let's go back up here. So is I still less than 10? Well, it just went to I is 1 now, and 1, is it less than 10? Yes. So then we increment by 1 again, then it's 2, then we console log out 2, and it keeps on going over and over and over again until it gets to when it gets to I is 10, because 10 is equal to 10, this is now false, so it will break out of the while loop, it'll skip it, and then it'll just console log out finished. So what we can do here is let's just run this example in the terminal. And you can see right here, when I actually run node here, it will show us exactly what we have displayed in the while loop. So increments all the way from 1 until 10, and then it just says finished. The reason why it goes up to 10 is because, remember, when it's 9, 9 is less than 10, so it still goes in here, but it increments up by 1. So it's 10 right now. It console logs 10, but once it gets to the bottom here, it says, okay, let's go back up to the top, and is 10 less than 10? No, it's equal to, so it breaks out of it, but I is still 10, so then it console logs finished at the end. So that is why we get all these numbers here in the terminal. So remember, if you don't understand how a while loop is set up, there's also templates online. So if I go to W3 Schools while loop, so right over here, if I just search for while loop, JavaScript while loop, W3 School, then right over here it actually shows you the syntax of it, of how to set up a while loop. You have some sort of condition here, and then your block of code inside the while loop. And it's just like what they have here, an example here, and a few other examples. But looking at W3 Schools is a really great place to go to read how to do these different loops.